各位早安。Good morning, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Charles Lin. I'm the Deputy Mayor of the Kaohsiung City. First of all, I would like to welcome all the guests on the real estate development industry from all over the world to visit my city, Kaohsiung, to participate in this very specific FIABCI Global Leadership Summit. And I will be sharing our experience about green recovery in Kaohsiung for you. Well, my presentation today will be including four main aspects. As the slide has shown, I will give you a little brief introduction to the city. But in the first part, I will say the major policy and how to transform the city in terms of digital transformation and industry transformation will be in the content of the first part. The second part is I think today the summit, the theme recovery, green recovery to build a better life. I try to echo this. So building better lives with the green recovery also have to do it proceeding in the city of Kaohsiung. Third part is in addition to the green recovery, the most important thing is how the city all over the world to resolve the climate change. So we need to run to the zero. So I will describe how the policy action have been taken in the city. We are trying to have the net zero policies in the city. It will be necessary for the people as well as the government and the industry to go join together to promote the things. Finally, I will try to review the FIABCI awards in Kaohsiung, starting from the 2008 and to the 2021. We won the 9 awards from the agency of the city government. So I so appreciate that the FIABCI Global FIABCI can give us a support. I took this as a very encouragement that the continue to encourage my agency within the administration of the city government to go on to making a big job, a perfect project, and to go into the competition in the FIABCI. So this is my presentation going to be. So firstly, let me introduce you to the city of Kaohsiung. As you have I've heard that you have a very crazy night last night. So you're quite familiar. Every night is really crazy, right? So I think you're gonna have a very short picture of this. So this is the introduction for the city of Kaohsiung. Kaohsiung is the largest city in southern Taiwan. The area is around 3,000 square meters, and the population is 2.72 million. We have the most unique sea and air fuel port in Taiwan. It is quite few that the city owns 2 ports. One is the airport, the other is the seaport. So it really makes the city is quite convenient to connect to the world. On the slide, you can see Kaohsiung Port is the largest international port in Taiwan, and also one of the top 20 container ports in the world. The ranking is the 18th container port, but it was the first number 3. But it doesn't matter because it's a transformation. The city is not only accountable for the shipping, but somehow you have to transform to the high-tech industry. So you can see it is the Taiwan primary shipping and shipping hub and a gateway for the import and export. I want to add something on this. The most of the product coming from abroad into Taiwan was through the gateway. They will be accountable for 16%. 60% of the product got into Taiwan need to be accountable for this Kaohsiung port. So it is proper to say that Kaohsiung port is our economic lifeline and icon in the city of Kaohsiung. Further, we also have an international airport. It is the second largest airport in Taiwan. As the annual capacity of the travelers are increasing per year, that encourage the central government to give us the more fund to enlarge the airport improvement. So within the next 5 or 6 years, the central government also provide a budget to increase the what we call the Kaohsiung airport. So it will become the icons of the smart and green airport in Taiwan. And we insist that even though we receive the budget from the central government, the airport needs to be a green airport. And the airport should become a smart airport for the future. Well, Kaohsiung City has a natural environment and geographic uniqueness. In addition, the city is sunny all year round and has a pleasant climate. Don't you agree with that? Yeah. Yes. Okay. Maybe in your hometown it's snowy day, but in my city right now it's a spring day. So it's very easy for people to live in here. So in addition, the city, the people are hospitable and friendly. I promise you that you are very welcome to take the opportunity of this summit to go sightseeing, to appreciate the beauty of the city. Well, starting 13 years ago, Kaohsiung has its own public transit. So the public transit is quite sound, but currently there are 2 lines, the red line and orange lines. I don't know whether you have a time. You should take your experience to take the metro in Kaohsiung. And we also not only have the metro underground, we also have the streetcar, what we call the light rail. And the light rail is the first light rail in Taiwan. It's after the slide I was showing you, it's very beautiful for the light rails and easy for the people to hop in, hop off. Okay. So this page is quite important for the first part I want to introduce you. As yesterday, Mr. Chen Chi-mai, he mentioned that the first priority for his resume as a city mayors, he wants to make the city as a priority for the transformation for the industry. So this is showing that this is an advantage of the Kaohsiung, but this one, the right side, is the S corridor. And the hot right here, this is a show window. And this is the manufactured semiconductor corridor. Let me say again, Kaohsiung City has in terms of the city function for the nation, Kaohsiung has served as a heavy industry city for more than half a century. Let me say again, more than half a century. So it was designated as a heavy industry city. There are petrochemical industry, steel industry, chip industry, and national defense industry, Kaohsiung. But right now, according to our policy priority, it is important to make the city industry transformation work. That means how to transform the original function as a heavy industry city into pro-semiconductor industry city. It's very important, it's very urgent, it's very crucial. During the last 2 years, we worked very hard. And we go to the central government, we have to cooperate with the central government to promote the development of Kaohsiung Science Park. And we also need a hub as a show window. Simplify the city, have a living room for connection with the other city around the world. So it comes of that. the national level semiconductor corridor totally based on the heavy industry. So thanks for the heavy industry for half a century, that will be allow the city to upgrade into the semiconductor industry. I don't believe that any city can copy this kind of pattern. But Kaohsiung is doing this revolution in terms of industry transformations. Well, within the, you can see it comes up that the national level semiconductor corridor layout in Kaohsiung is emergent. It's showing up. Within the national level semiconductor corridor, which has attracted TSMC, AWS, ASE, Microsoft to settle in. The Asia Bay Area will serve as the international output basis for the new southbound smart city by creating an innovative industry hub and display area for the smart technology industry. This is the TSMC. President Biden 2 days ago in Arizona to show the opening of TSMC in Arizona. But Mayor Chen has been actively promoting the investments and the cooperations of the city government's teams. TSMC was successfully introduced to original petroleum refinery to set up a wafer fabric factories. So it's kind of brown-free reclamation. So this site, TSMC was occupied by ways of the help by the central government and the city government. But it will be looking at the technology corridor in South. The first phase of the TSMC factory has begun the construction in this September. And it will be officially operated in years of 2024. So you can see that we have the first phase will be the 1,500 jobs will be created, and there will be the annual output value up to the 157 billion. Well, in addition to the attract TSMC, TSMC is one of the examples, but it's quite crucial. But in addition to attracting the TSMC to set in the Kaohsiung, the city government also promised to satisfy the industry water demand from reclaimed waters and green electricity. Let me say again, this is a good cycle that we attract TSMC to the brownfield. In addition to that, we also promise to provide reclaimed water and green electricity. And that it will be a crucial change to make the city and the industry society to getting green and getting clean. And this is the case, also one site of the S corridor, what we call the Chaotou Science Park. In order to accelerate the industry transformation, the city government and the central governments have jointly promoted the national levels projects of the Asia New Bay areas. It's not only the name of the New Bay area, but important thing is the 5G AIoT policy have been introduced in this. And the central government also plans to invest $10 billion in the 5 years to build the largest 5G innovation site in Taiwan and to seize the vital position in global 5G supply chain. So this is a place. We have a wonderful time over here. Remember that? Yeah. The welcome party is just over there. But it's a surrounding around here. So based on the Asia Bay Area 1.0 version, I mean, this area has been a 1.0 version. Within the 10 years, the last 10 years, they were including the Kaohsiung exhibition halls, waterfront library, Kaohsiung Public Domain Library, Kaohsiung Pop Music Center, and the Kaohsiung Port Cruise Company. They have been finished, accomplished. So the city government then launched the 2.0 versions as the new Belencia areas. They are aiming to, this plan is aiming to encourage the settlement of the financial, especially for the fintech and the technology industry. We are fully promoting the development of the 5G smart industry in Asia, New Bay areas, which can serve as the community of the cooperative headquarters. We plan to do this, and we call this as the new Belencia area 2.0 version plan. So you can see the forthcoming investment along the harbor rivers. And this is a real particle urban renewal projects along the Asia Bay areas. And the investment is right now under development as well. So when we finish the part one, that means it's a very brief historical and the status of the Kaohsiung. Now I'm moving to the part two, building better lives with green recovery. I really love the theme of this summit. It just like that the city of Kaohsiung is trying to its revolutions. So I'm totally very happy. And so there are some projects and programs referred to the theme of the green recovery in the city that are worth to show up to you and also for further discussion later on. And you may see there were some programs. I was taking this program for the underground program. It takes the city for more than 20 years to put in the rail stations to preserve, as well as to make the railroad undergrounded. But instead of undergrounded, in Taipei, they put the railroad undergrounded, and then they build an elevated highway. But I don't think that will be the right way for the Kaohsiung. So Kaohsiung, instead of doing the thing that Taipei have done, we are taking all the space into the green corridor. So the green transformation, you can see, if you have time, you should go around. The green transform from the Kaohsiung Railroad Underground Project has a total length of almost 16 kilometers. And the area is around 71 hectares. It is planned to provide the citizens a green corridor for daily life. According to the people, according to the real estate plans, they told me this is very grateful things. It just opened 2 years ago. And it become right now as a community daily life. Very easy for the people to approach the green corridor. So also this is the very, very important things that we have done, and it's very successful. And then let's doing the makeover of the Kaohsiung Railroad Station. Kaohsiung people have waited for more than a long time, and finally can embrace the realization of the beautiful vision. The vision is a brand new transportation hub and a brand new transportation stations with the combinative functions. The Kaohsiung Railroad Station will be a vital public space in the city by years of 2020. But most meaningful things is that the city and the citizens join together to make the historical train station building being preserved and reused in the future. You can see this is the historical buildings right here. 19 years ago, it's a very big dispute among the city, different agencies and the people. But finally, we decided to preserve the historical buildings. So we relocated because we have to make the underground project. But after the 19 years old, we are moving back. So it's a very meaningful thing. 90 years ago, the old Kaohsiung station was relocated to preserve its history during the times of the underground railroad projects. After the 19 years, the train station will be back and become the heart of the city. Let us watch a time-lapse photography of the old Kaohsiung stations move back to its original site. only the construction, but it also the social movement. Okay, so it becomes a social movement. So you can see in the future there will be the Kaohsiung stations. Right now, it's a percentage of the construction is up to the 90%. So just give us a few years. 2024 will become this one. And in the middle, you can see that this is the historical building. Moving back from here, it's in access of the city. Okay. The other programs I would like to show you that is the Kaohsiung light rail system, the circle routes, and it is the first light rail system in operation in Taiwan. It has a total of 22 kilometers and 38 stations. Can you see that? This is our natural, light rail. And with the shadows of the tree, the light rail is going through, and the people love it. And it's very cheaper for everyone, especially for the disabled people. It is universal. So this is we provide a light rail service in the city. But during the time, you have some people fight against the light rail. But after negotiations, after the social engagements, involvements, we are trying to make it the light rail successfully to do it. In addition to the Model T models of the transit, we also have the bike path system selected by CNN as one of the 5 cycling cities in Asia. Kaohsiung has built more than 1,000 kilometers long bike path by this year. And 3 elevated, you can see the elevated bicycle bridge which are crossed by the citizens. This is the public sharing bicycle rental system. We have used it within 2 years ago. But right now it comes up to it's totally made in Taiwan. It's not only the bicycle, it's the giant. The brand is a giant. It's kind of a BOT system. But in the cases, we are right now, just during the short 2 years, we have more than 10,000 bikes. And we set up more than 1,200 stops. They were easy for any neighborhood to take the public sharing bike. And the first 30 minutes, there will be some subsidy provided by the city government to the user. So they will encourage the people to use in the green public sharing bicycle. And in this times, it is the first mile, also the last mile for the public transit. So this is quite popular right now, and especially for the commuting and traveling. And most benefit is for the students. They are very popular to use it. So furthermore, I want to say, even though we have the red line, we have the orange line, but right now we have also this trying to make the further extension. Even though this is the S-form, you can see what we say that the city's the future is based on the mobility. It's not only for the industry. If we want to the industry development, you need to have a very sound transit. So we extended the red line to the north, and we extend to the south, and we also created yellow lines. So the MRT lines after 2030, they were completions. The total route length will be 114 kilometers, and there will be 114 stations. So you can see this is very important things you want to investment for the city to transform that. And this is the circle line area. We promised the citizen to complete this, to to accomplish the library by next year, the end of next year will be up to all the construction will be finished. I took this with a heart beating, because it is located in the inner city. So it will be the reason that some people disagree with that, because those people, they don't use the library, they use the car. So they will be taking some disadvantage for them. But after the social engagement that we are doing this, it will be completed. And this is a harbor line, and we'll go to the mountain line, and we circle them together. So this is the, I'm saying the city hub. The city hub is fitted after the years of next years, and the scene will be go around the world. So that will be make it easy, much easier for the city to go further. And there will be some picture. If you leave, before you leave the Kaohsiung, you may easy to take a picture, because it just be surrounding everywhere. So you can see the libraries going down, and going right. You can see also there will be a very kindly reconsideration that for the disabled people going to the hospital and to go to school, and each station is different. We invite the artists to join with us, to go with the civil engineer to build up the stations. So this is the way I'm taking the green recovery. But this page is quite important. What I'm saying, the city plans to move to the next stage, the TOD. The city is designed based on the concept of the sustainable developments. We all know that. And it takes the high efficiency of the public transportation as the backbone of design, and make use of the advantage of the metro stations to move toward the concept of the TOD. TOD, I think, all of you are quite content with that, the transit-oriented development. I set up this agenda for the city to move ahead. You need to do the action of the TOD. And through the improvement of the land use intensity around the stations and the integration of the urban functions, the benefits of the land development and the infrastructure allocations are advanced. This is also support the metro to create residents accessible and with efficient, sustainable city of the smart land use. So I will give you some example right now. It took us a matrix. Each station, because we're going to have 114 stations within the city, so it's easy for the city to lay out the next movement. So you can see we provide a land for the private sector to go into the market to build up the buildings along the metro. So this is the other one, as I'm showing the. This is the multifunction of the train station, but also under the train station, there was another station. This is the red line metro all together. So this will be the make the adjacent area becomes most prosperous. So also in this case, this is the new area that have a new red line and a yellow line together. So we are going to have the to do this. This project is what is undergoing. I encourage that if you are interested in this, just come to me, come to my office. We can talk about that. Because right now it's going to be open building. This is the, we're going to have the TSMC, and adjacent to the TSMC, there was the area totally owned by the public sector. And we're going to release out for bidding for development, TOD development. And there will be making a good benefit for the TSMC, because TSMC will ask the city government to build more high advanced office for the IC design, because they need the IC design classroom to adjacent to their factory. So in order to boost the development of the Kaohsiung towards the mass transit city, the city government introduced 5 funds and vitality through the development of the metros surrounding areas. This enhanced the commercial opportunity of the vicinity of the metro stations. We also contribute to the public welfare facility to strengthen local public service as well as to upgrade the landscape. For solving the housing problems, every city has those kind of problems, especially for the disabled people, the economically disabled people or the young generations. So the city government has set the goal to build 50,000 social housing units. And the units are located in dense populated areas and are in line with the trend of the public transport and industry development. So we don't build the public housing in the suburban. Instead, we are building the public housing just in the adjacent of the metro stations. They will make the people, of the living people, required people, they can just take less money to have a housing. So within the next 4 years, the 15,000 units will be built up. And in Kaohsiung, I think that will be the most benefit for the young people and the social disadvantaged people. This is the inner side of the right now it's under construction. Furthermore, I have to say that each unit, each building of the public housing is not for sale, it's for rental. So it's easy for the government to introduce the high technology into this, including the energy saving, including the fire protection technology. So young people are quite acquainted with the smart technology. So when they live in there, they become a very important spoken people for the citizen, for the government to express the way we are trying to promote the smart city initiative. And next is the program that we also have a green open space in the city. It's quite important things for the agency of the public works. They are contributed most of the effort in this. It's not only this, but also we have the agency of the hydraulic. This is very proud of the city that we have more than 21 wetlands. The purpose of the wetland, there were 2 purposes. One way is the biodiversity. The other way is the detention pond. So it will dual function on this. So you can see that more than 1,000 hectares has been built up within the city. And along the city and along the river, it will become a green recovery. But also in terms of the facing climate changes, we don't build a dike. Instead of doing this, we build a detention pond. So according to our calculation, the 21 wetland or detention pond will accommodate more than 400 million tons of water, especially to face the climate changes and the very dramatic falling days. They will be quite effective and it's very cheaper. And each pond will be biodiversity, and also it becomes the photovoltaic generation plant altogether. And this is also the agency of the public Commissioner Yang. He is right here. He taken his team to renovations and the new construction of the feature of the parks. They work very hard, and we also support the budget for them because it's very important. We've got more than 450 parks in the whole city, but we need to renew the park. Not only build a park, but renew the park is most urgency agenda. So I would say that you can see this is the feature parks. What we mean the feature park is the parks. Each park shows quite different from others. So this is the main goal for the agency to do this. And I will show you 1 minute of the official part what they are doing. It's a kind of an advertisement, but it's very popular for the young people to do this, to accept.
身为国际城市，自去年起推动高雄公园，更具有在地风格和地域生态特性的高雄特色，为港都带来崭新的绿色美学。高雄的特色公园今年已增加34座。
And the park design is not only by the city officers, but also by the artistic people. We also invite a very special expertise to go with us to renovate it and to renew the park. So it becomes very popular. So the next 4 years, we're going to be set up the 100 park to renew for the next movement. Okay. And this is the one case that most of the people very recognize. Last year's, it was a tragedy. It happens in the last October, but it just only took 1 year that the city government cross borders, put together all the agencies to build up. You can see there are very dated buildings into community park. Because this is very dangerous. After the fire, it's very dangerous. So we ask the people to move. We arrange, accommodate more than the 330 stakeholders of the ownership. We relocated to the adjacent place. Instead of the rebuild the building, we demolished and it turned into park. In addition to turning the park, we also accommodated the 330 stakeholders into the urban renewal, to the new public housing. Also, they are accommodated by the, I talk in this project, I should show my gratitude to the 高雄建筑工会跟高雄的所有的各位好 I should thank my appreciation to all the friends. In these rooms, you are a representative of the real estate. Because of your help, that we are passing through this kind of disasters. Okay, so this is the case we are doing this kind of green recovery. In addition to a green recovery, I want to say this is social recovery. Okay, let me go to the third part. It's just take me 5 minutes to finish my mission. Okay, come on, let's go. Okay, part 3. Well, as I mentioned to you, the final part is that the festival events often took place in the city along the river and the harbor lines, which makes the city lovely and livable. So it becomes a very important ingredient that people enjoy, that we also provide events, public events, that make a city become attractive. So that finish that, I will go into the part 3, running to the net zero. Kaohsiung City has set the 30% reductions in 2030, and the net zero target in 2050, and promote it through the 4 major transformations of they were including the energy, industry, life, and society. The 4 major transformation strategies set 4 goals, and 18 strategies are going on. So the net zero, as mentioned before, we are focusing the issue of net zero of transformation in 6 sectors. In each sector, there are some regulations and some action need to be taken, and we also set a law, municipal law, to ask those people to follow. They were including the energy, manufacture, housing, transportation, agriculture, and environmental. So in this, they run into the zero. There will be this is the very important thing we are trying to energy generation solar photovoltaic. You can see we set a goal of the 1.25 gigawatt within the 6 years. That will mean that by years of 2025, we're going to provide the green electricity up to the 1.25 gigawatt capacity. How do we do it? How do we do it? We ask all the schools, more than 333 schools that were municipal schools, they need to be covered by the photovoltaic. And we also ask the factory, the owner, to follow this. We also set up the municipal law that the owners of the building need to be compliant with the regulations. That will make us become the green electricity provider. So in this case, there was some task force, and I'm the chairman of the task force. I asked all the agencies among the task force to provide the general electricity. Because in the coming years, the green electricity becomes inedible for the trading. You need a certification of the green electricity. So semiconductors come to my office, they need the green electricity. So we have to provide to them. Otherwise, we cannot attract them into the Kaohsiung. And so this is the years we are trying to 1.25 gigawatts. And that will be not only for the building, but we also go with the agriculture as well as the agriculture. So it's a symbiosis process. We go to the farmers, we also go to the fishery, we're using the land, up the land, we set the photovoltaic all together. And it is the model of that is the ESCO model, ESCO mechanism. We don't have to pay any money, any penny, but the ESCO company will come up in the site. They can take 20 years lease land, lease contract by the city government's help. So this is the energy generation solar photovoltaic, the benefit for the fishery and the electricity. Now it's going on and going on. And we also, behind that, we get the support from the national government to support us to go further. And this is the school. And this is very important things. I will let you know that, if you're doing the green electricity productions, what is the next steps you have to do? I say you should do the same. You should do the things at one time. That is you have a dashboard, preliminary dashboard. You know where is the green electricity is coming on, and you can transform that. And you also can sell to the type power electricity by negotiation, by different quantity price with the type powers. So it is very important to using the dashboard control system. So this is the way we are controlling the 1.25 gigawatt in the center of the government, in the city government. Okay. In addition to that, it is also a very important thing if you want to run into the zero. You have to have different green models of the transportation, taking the electric scooters, electrical bus, and U-bike, and the metro. In addition to this, we also have a municipal law that we encourage the private sector to make it the urban renewal up to the Kaohsiung house. And within the Kaohsiung house, it was necessary for changing the old buildings with the photovoltaic, as well as the very height, the very deep balcony, and you can receive the incentive for the development rights. So it becomes a good circle. And also, this is the final things I want to talk to you. As yesterday, the Mayor Chen had mentioned, there were two important things the city administration taking the priority. One thing is industry transformations. The other thing is the digital transformation. The digital transformation will make the city to move ahead going to the smart city. Smart city is not a word. Smart city is not a fashion term. Smart city is an ongoing industry. So you can see we have the Smart City Kaohsiung's geology. We set up the promotion committee. We also have the test field. I guarantee to all the high-tech industry that say that the city is an open field. the city is the living lab. If you can ask us, we can open for you. You can try anything, including the drone, including anything, including the covering the medical, and as well as we also set up sandbox systems. In case something wrong, we have a sandbox to protect you. So you can see that this is a digital transformation of the Kaohsiung is doing very well. And it will cover in the medical, the elderly people take care, and as well as the fire protections. And you can see they're also using the metro management. It can cover all the things. So it's very good for the city. Within the 2 years, we are promoting not only the green recovery, we're also promoting the smart city. Then we receive lots of the awards, not only from the FIABCI, getting the IDC Smart City Award, we're getting the IDC getting the World Congress, giving us the local government awards by ITS. And you can see, this is my sincere invitation for you. You are welcome to join the 2027 Smart City Expo in Kaohsiung. It will be take place in the next March. You are welcome to come to here, because right now it becomes the biggest smart city export in Asia. So we're gonna have the Taipei. We also have the Kaohsiung venue at the same time. So let me take just 1 minute to thank Susan and Edie and all the members of the FIABCI. We're gonna review the FIABCI award. As I mentioned to you, we're starting from 2008. We get this one, FIABCI World Peace Excellency Awards. Starting from 2008, we then go to the 2009. This is what we call the heart of the river. And we also have this kind of metro stations. And 2010, this is very bright lights metro stations. And we also have this kind of the wetlands. And 2012, and 2014, 2016, this is the main public library. The structure, the design, and the use is very popular. And 2021, you can imagine that this is the pop music centers. So you're gonna visit there. Okay. Did you visit there? Okay. So it took the agency or the public works doing this by international competitions, and we built it up. Totally 100% made in Taiwan. So we built it up. So finally, I would say, let me repeat again. The theme of this summit is wonderful. And also, it's the path for the Kaohsiung as moving on. So I'm saying the new drive of urban development is the green recovery. I try to reflect to you. Thank you for your attention for my presentation. So, thank you very much.